correctly. All right. We got through talking the other day about the different logistics of the class, the process, the handouts. Make sure you get the handouts. If you've added recently, you need to get the handouts. You need to get on the email so I can, unless you got it and then got dropped out and then got put back on. Sometimes these the first couple of weeks or the first day you get thrown out and put back in the class and that kind of thing. So just make sure you see me after class if you added in the last couple of days. This is the Blackboard. I'm going to go over this again because I've already got a couple of emails. I can't get through Blackboard. Well, y'all didn't follow directions. Okay, let's hit it again. You hit that and you hit this. And as soon as you hit that, if your computer is like Tri-County Tech computers, it's just going to do that over and over and over. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is so you know what to do. So make sure you write it down. Those of you that have notebooks and all that good stuff, make sure you write it down. That's all it's going to do. It's going to do it for 24 hours. So you have to do something. And what you have to do is you have to right click up in the top right hand corner. You can't see it if you in the back of the room. But up in the top right hand corner, you'll see a little icon. That's a shield. You can't see it because it looks like a little round thing, but it's a shield. And basically it's saying that's where you do the pop-ups and all that good stuff, okay? So what you do is you right click on that shield, right click and hit load unsafe scripts. So you need to write that down, load unsafe scripts. Now if you click on that, sometimes it will go into, now I don't know what it's going to do here because okay, it went in, it's going to go, nope, it's not, good, I'm glad. It didn't go into it, but the little ticker stopped ticking. So sometimes if it goes into it, you're good. Right click again and always allow pop-ups, done, and refresh. And there you go. Okay, 2019, we got man on the moon and man on Mars and robots on Mars, but we have to allow pop-ups. Okay, yes ma'am.
My account information isn't working right. When I put in my TCTC username and password, it wouldn't work. And then I emailed the guy about using my ID number as the password, and it still wouldn't pop up.
When did you add the class?
I've been in it since
a long time.
Yeah, for a while. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to find out about that because I don't know what's going on. Who did you talk to?
His last name. His first name was George, but I can't remember his last name.
George.
Okay.
You're talking about from what help desk? Did you call
1 second.
My Labs Plus? That's who you should have called probably.
Gerald Marshall. I
Okay.
asked him about it. Sorry about
What
that.
did he say?
He was asking me questions about I told him that the getting to it wasn't the problem, that my account was, and then that's when he told me to use my number and stuff for it.
And that didn't work.
Not for my password.
Okay, see me after class and we'll look after it. Okay, we'll have to call a couple of people and see what's going on. I don't understand. There must be something. And you didn't change your password, or you used your T number and your password?
Yeah,
you
I
both.
both of them. And I had my password changed a while ago, but I tried that one too, and it still didn't pop up.
Okay, we'll look at it after class. I'm gonna have to cut class early because I got 2 or 3 people I need to see after class. Okay, so anybody else got any questions on that besides login stuff? Okay, now I'm gonna get you to try something else also. I don't know. Did you go to the website?
To Blackboard?
No.
So I got to the login screen, but I couldn't go past
You
that.
couldn't. Okay. Well, sometimes Blackboard most of the time the problem is Blackboard. So that's why I don't use Blackboard. That's why I tell y'all about 5 or 10 times I don't use Blackboard. The reason I'm showing you to go through Blackboard here is because Tri-County Tech, for some reason, wants y'all to go through Blackboard. I have no idea why. But if you don't want to go through, or after you have gone through Blackboard, and if it's up and you can go through Blackboard, then you need to write down, and I don't know if I told y'all this, but the website is tctc, I think I did, .mylabsplus.com. Okay? And that's the website. Oh well, the website looks like that. Okay? Make sure it says Tri-County Technical College. If it does not say Tri-County Technical College, you're at the wrong place. And here's where you should type in your username. And then I'm going to type in my T number. And it'll take you to that same page. Okay? So there's 2 ways to get to MyLabs Plus. Capiche? And the reason I have to go over that again, and I have to do that 2 or 3 times, is because, like I say, people are adding. I know I've gotten 2 or 3 students in the last day or 2. All right? So people are adding and withdrawing and doing all that good stuff, and I want to make sure everybody gets it. So that's that. Okay, any questions so far? All right. Now, also, let's go to Math 120. And y'all's class is right there. Click on it. And now we basically are in the class. All right. Now there's several things. I want everybody to get their notebooks out and get your pencils out because I want you to write this stuff down so I don't have to go over it 15 times. Now I realize that some of y'all have used Course Compass or MyLabs Plus. Some of you may have even invented it. Okay. But I still want you to write down some information so you won't have to ask questions. Now, the main menu is right here. Now, some of this stuff you don't have. You don't have like this down here because this is for instructors. But your main icons is homework, quizzes and tests. This is no joke. I do have people text me at the beginning of the semester and they say they can't find their homework and they can't find their test or whatever. Where are they looking? Blackboard. Do I use Blackboard? No. Anyway, homework is pretty self-explanatory. You click on homework and you should see the homework pop up. There it is. Now, let's talk about this because some of you are Hammy students. Hammy the squirrel on the hedges, between the hedges or something, across the hedges or something. Jumping around, wondering about the due date. I have found in my vast years of experience who worries about the due dates. Who do you think worries about the due dates? No. They already know the due dates, even though I don't know it. They already know it. The people that what? Wait till the last minute. That's the ones that worry about the due dates. Now, if you need to know the due dates, you look on MyLabs Plus. Right now, these say 12/3. Oh my gosh. That's not right. It's not right. You don't need to worry about that yet because I haven't started teaching yet. All right? But the due dates are right here. If there's nothing there, you don't need to worry about it. Now, let's go back to our handy-dandy outline. Get your outlines out. We're going to put 2 and 2 together here because some of y'all, and when I mean y'all, not in here, I mean in general, students can't put this together, all right? They, for some reason, it's just like rocket science or something. I don't know. But get your outline out, and we're going to put 2 and 2 together. Okay, where are y'all? 120, 120, 120. Syllabus. Let me just do 120. Well, I know I sent y'all the stuff. I hate this email because there. No, that's not it. Somebody there. There it is. All right, I'm gonna pull up the tentative schedule. Now, right here, this is Unit 1. Everybody see that? I have told y'all that chapters 1 and 2 are what? Pretty much reading. And that 20% of your test is going to come from 1 and 2. 90% of your test is going to come from chapter 3. Now, remember, the outline is used for 2 things, really 3 things. The outline is used so you'll know what's in each unit. The outline is also used so you'll know if you're absent what I probably covered compared to the last class that I went over. If I went over 1.5 yesterday, then chances are I'm going to cover 2.1 today. Okay? So let me fix that. It's used for that. Then it's also used for printing out the e-text. If you want to print out the e-text, if you want to print out everything for this unit, you use this outline to tell you what to print out. But it's also used to where you will see on the homework which sections you're supposed to be doing. And this is really cool. The homework lines up with the outline. So, wait a minute, it don't have a due date. Well, then you don't need to worry about it. Don't work ahead of me, because I do omit sections. All right, I don't do that intentionally, but sometimes I do it because I don't agree with what's in the syllabus, or I don't think it's that important. Okay, so sometimes I do. If I go over it, that's when you work on the homework. If I go over it, let's say Friday, or whatever day this is, Thursday, what is today? Thursday. Okay, so Tuesday, if I go over 1.1 today, then Tuesday, I'm probably going to go over 1.2. So that means Monday, today, you're supposed to do 1.1. I shouldn't have said that. Somebody's going to freak out and call me tonight and say, you haven't opened the 1.1 homework. Okay. What do you say? For instructional purposes, let's say, for example, I do 1.1 today. Then that means tonight, between today and Tuesday of next week, you need to do 1.1 homework. And when I cover Tuesday, 1.2 homework, or 1.2, that means between Tuesday and Thursday, you're supposed to do 1.2 homework. It's not difficult. But what happens? Exactly. And you're going to try to do that. Now, why is that a problem? Well, I'm going to show you why it's a problem in just a minute. When you click on the homework, now I got to make it, hold on. I thought this was already done. Sorry about this. Let me fix it. I need to go ahead and do the test too, because I want to show you that. So I need to go here, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is that it? Yeah. And I bet I don't have the test loaded, but I'll do that in a minute. Let me go ahead and I talk to myself a lot, so it's nothing unusual. And what's today? Today is the 10th. So, okay, it's already done. And 8 o'clock. And apply. And apply. There. And update. So that means all the homework is accessible, but like I said, I wouldn't go ahead of me. Some of y'all will, because y'all probably wrote the homework. Now, let me see one more thing. Let me go back and do tests, but I don't think I have them loaded, do I? Yeah, I do. Good. All right, we'll assign this one for, God, some of y'all are going to freak out when I do this. Oh, we got to do the test already? Y'all need medication. Let's see, 8 o'clock, and due 10th. What time's class over? 9:25, so 9:30. Some of y'all are gonna freak out. You're gonna go home and see this, or people that didn't come to class today. They're gonna freak out. We had a test today in class. Like I said, y'all need medication. We haven't even covered the first part of math yet, and y'all really think I'm gonna give y'all a test? All right, but anyway, that's that. So it should show up. Now when you hit course homework, now look at there. All of them you can hit and look at. They don't have a due date. They will have a due date. We'll get to that in just a minute. Everything works out in my class. Okay? All right, quizzes and tests. Look at there. It shows up. You can't click on these, but you can click on that one. Look at there. It's got a due date, time, how many minutes, how many attempts. All that information is right there, so you don't have to what? Ask me, because I'm going to say I have no idea. All right, so that's up there. So let's go to the homework, and let's pull up one of the homeworks. I'm going to go to chapter 3 because that's where the math is, and I'm not good with definition homework. You'll need to muddle through that because that's definitions. I'm going to go through and pick out the highlights. I'm going to tell you what you need to know, but we'll do that probably Tuesday, okay? Now, I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to pick up 3.2, and I'm just going to click on one, and that's not what I want. I want one. It's a simple math problem. Okay. Find the sample variance. Now, that's not simple, but it's just 5 numbers, blah, blah, blah. You find the mean, median. We're going to go through all of this, blah, blah, blah. But let's say you're at home and you don't have any idea how to do it. Okay? Click on that. Now, there's 2 or 3 different learning styles here, and I want you to write them down so you'll know. I want you to write down, help me solve this. And then I want you to write beside help me solve this, questions. Okay? Help me solve this and questions. Well, where did my whiteboard go? Hold on a minute. I got to go find my whiteboard. There it is. There we go. Pull that back up. All right. So you got help me solve this. Help me solve this is kind of like a guided tutorial. What is a guided tutorial? You ever been to a tutor and you give them a problem and they ask you 15 questions while you're doing the problem? You ever had one do that? Well, that's what a guided tutorial is. Okay? Help me solve this. Is a guided tutorial. Guided tutorial asks questions while you're doing it. Okay, who would use this? The person that has never seen the material. Okay, most of you have had probability and statistics in high school so that you could be coached for ACT purposes, okay? All right, most of you have had Math 120, okay? You just don't know it. You've had probability and statistics. And most of you will not use this. Some of you may use it because you've never seen it before. There are people in the world that do not know what? Everything. So 2. The second one is called example. Show me an example or something like that. That's the one most of you will use, okay? Help me solve this, an example. I think it's the second one. Let me see. View an example, okay? View an example. View an example is the tutor that goes in. Here's the, is this a marker? Probably. Okay. Here's the view an example tutor. 2x plus 4 is equal to 6. Minus 4 on both sides. You know that when you're on seesaw, minus 4, that's 2x is equal to what? 2x divided by 2, divided by 2, x is equal to 1. Did I ask you a question? No. Most people that use example, view an example, because you don't have questions, is people that are familiar with the material, okay? You are familiar with the material and you just need a little bit of what? Refreshing. Most of you will use this because you've had probability and statistics. So that's two different learning styles, all right? The third learning style a lot of you will use is the visual learning style, which is called the video. And I'm not going to, it's supposed to come up. I guess it's not. Wait a minute. Oh, there's our little friend. Here we go. Okay, is it not going to work, period, or always allow pop-ups? Hit refresh. I can't hit refresh. Okay, I guess the video is not going to come up now. Well, if you're at home, there we go. It's success. Okay, by hand, and it shows it's got. There we go. This is new. I've never seen this before, so there you go. And it shows you how to do the problem by hand with Stack Crunch. I do, for those of you that are aware of Excel, I do Excel, and I do Excel not to teach you Excel. I don't do it for instructional purposes. I do it just so I can get everything on the board, okay? You see, I kind of write all over the place, so there's no way I would be able to show you everything calculating without taking that board and probably this board too. Okay, so what I do is I use Excel not for you to learn Excel. I do it so I can get everything on the board. Does everybody understand that? Okay. Good. Hey, this song. 103 wasn't good enough. You had to have more punishment.
I know, right?
That's a good. For those of you that I told her this last semester, she took the 103. 103 is a good class to take with this one, or after this one, because the first two units are the same. So if you're looking for a class to take, it's for a lot of different majors, but a lot of the non-science majors like nursing, history, psychology, any of those majors that don't do a lot of math or science, you can do the 103 and the 120 together. It's a good class. Anyway, I like it. I like 3 units. I don't like the last unit. I love the last unit. But anyway, video is visual, and then textbook, that's for you readers. I'm not a reader. I can't read funny paper without falling apart. If it wasn't for Audible, I wouldn't read anything. Okay? Because I can't read a page without falling asleep. Some people are like that. I'm like that. So I don't read. Some of y'all can read like War and Peace in a day, and that's good. But it takes you to the book where it's being taught. And that's a different learning style for different people. That's up to you. So you got visual, which is video. I'm not going to write visual and video because I think most of y'all know that. And then reader, text. So that's a different learning style. The main reason I want to show you this is because of this feature right here. Ask my instructor. When you use that feature, that is kind of a last resort, or you want me to go over it, one of the two. And you go down here and you type in a message if you want to. Please go over this. I'm lost, or whatever. I'm going to put that. Please go over, comma, whatever, I'm lost. I'm doing that on purpose, and I'm going to put exclamation marks like that. Because that way you can see I didn't type this 5 minutes ago and send it to my email. Send, and then when we come to class the next day, the next whatever, I know you don't come to class the next day, I don't need anybody to tell me that. All right, go up here to Hubert's email, and go over to 120. Oh my gosh, look at there. It's a miracle. And what do I do with this question? I pull it up at the beginning of class the next time, okay? and we go over it. Now, this works, okay? But the problem is people don't what? People don't use it. And this is what happens, like you said, procrastinators. If you do your homework every night or every 2 days after class, you got after class today to do homework, and you got tomorrow to do the homework, and then you got the weekend to do one or two sections of homework before the next time we meet. If you do that, then you're going to send questions as you what? As you come up to them. And then I'm going to go over the questions, so the speed of the class is determined by who? The students. But what's the backside of that? Well, you're going to have Billy Bob, procrastinator, that's going to say, oh, I'll do it when I get to it. Okay. Now, let's go back to the outline. We go over problems. We go over problems. We go over problems. And we get to around 3.4. Well, what's going to be coming up soon? The test. You read the outline. Okay, Hubert, it's 3.5. Some of y'all are going to come up to me when we get to 3.2 and say, when's the test? And what am I going to say? I have no idea. I've just told you when the test is. The test is when? After 3.5. What do I do? Now, my 103 students, I got 2 103 students in here. Anybody else that had me before besides those 2? Okay, they will tell you when I pull the test up in class. I go over it, don't I? I'm sorry, but if that's not good enough for you to know when the test is, you're unteachable, okay? I pull up the test, we go over it. Now, I'm not an idiot. I know that I shouldn't pull up the test and give you the exact same test. It's not going to be the exact same test. These tests algorithmically generate, they reorder themselves, and they also pull from questions that I put. So if I give you a 10-question test, there's 100 questions that it could be pulling from. Okay, everybody understand that? So I'm not stupid. I may be crazy, but I'm not stupid. And so the procrastinator will wait until the last minute and, oh, I'll do all these one time. Boom, boom, boom. And then he sees a question. Notice I say he because it's usually a he. 1.4, he sends a question. 1.5, he sends a question. 2.2, he sends a question. 3.1, he sends a question. And 3.4 and 3.5, he sends a couple of questions. Am I going to go over them? Hell to the no. Why? Because what's my next thing on the agenda? Review for the test. When should you have sent those questions? As I was doing them. Okay? It's not fair for procrastinators to dictate what we do in class. It's fair for the ones that's doing what they're supposed to dictate what we do in class. Everybody understand that? So if you do that, then you have to see me after class, or you have to see me during regular office hours, which I never have because people mostly do what they're supposed to. You'll have to see me then. Okay? Now, review for test. We go over the test. Then I say at the end of test, and these 103 students can tell you, I do this. All my classes, I do this. I pull up the test. We go over the questions. And then after the test, I say, okay, today is the what? Today is the 10th. 7 days, that'll be the 17th. So I'll put the 17th in there. Just like I did a while ago when I set the test. I set it for the 17th. 12 o'clock midnight. All my tests start, all my assignments start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they end on the midnight of that night of the termination date. Okay, there's no fluctuations unless the computer does it and I don't see it. Okay, you have 3 tries for the test. Let's write all this down because I don't want, this is bonus questions. Bonus questions on the test. Wake up, you need more sleep. Bonus questions on the test. You have 3 tries. You have to really be tired to go to sleep in my class. Loud as I am. Why are you going to sleep? What time do you go to bed? Okay. Don't want to tell you like I tell my son. If you want to dance, you got to pay the what? Band. 3 tries. What do I do? Do I average them up or do I take the higher of the 3? I take the highest. Write that down because that is a question on the test, and I don't want somebody coming up to me asking me that now. Because I've told you. 3 tries takes the highest. I give you 7 days. 7 days. Why do I give you 7 days? Because y'all have 5 dead grandmothers and you have 2 weak funerals and 5 flat tires and all this other stuff that y'all come up with. The house got hit by lightning, the flood, and everything else. There's something else I need to give you and I can't remember what it is. 3 tries, takes the highest, 7 days. Oh, there's something else I'm forgetting. But anyway, it's multiple choice. Most of them are multiple choice. And, I'm forgetting something. But I can't remember what I'm forgetting. That's pretty bad when you can't remember what you did. Yes, sir.
Are we going to continue on with the schedule even if the test is open?
What do you mean? What schedule?
You're going to keep teaching ahead while the test is open, right?
Well, yes. In other words, while y'all are taking the test, I'm going to start on the next section, which will be Unit 2. Yes.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, that's why you take it at home. And usually what people do is they take it as soon as they finish their homework. Okay? You take it as soon as you finish your homework, and that way when you come to class, you don't have to worry about a test looming over you. No, or this is what students do. You take the first test and you make a 72 on it, okay? And you're not happy with that, but you've got it done, okay? And then later on, you try to make it better by taking 2 or 3. Yes. You figured out what I forgot?
Is it the extra bonus questions on?
Yeah, we're gonna go over that. Yeah, the bonus questions are on the test. Like,
have it in here too.
Yep, they're in all my classes. I do that not for just class. I do that because I don't like repeating myself, and I don't like students walking up to me at the end of the semester and saying, "Do you average all the 3 grades, or do you?" So there it is. It takes the highest. Yes, sir.
When you take the highest of the 3 grades, are you taking the cumulative end score, or do you take the highest percentage of like the questions? Like if we do question 1 and we get like a 40%, a 60%, and an 80%, does it take the highest of the question?
Yeah, it takes the highest of the 3 tests.
Okay.
Okay, so if you take a test, if you take the first test and it's 72, and you take the second test and it's an 80, and you take the third test and 96, the computer, the grade book, will take the 96 and it'll throw away these 2. Okay, when it calculates your grade. Yes, sir.
Do the same rules apply to the exam?
Yep, I give you 2 tries, and it takes the higher of the 2. And I give you 7 days to take the final exam. Now, when you see the test, you're going to say, well, how does anybody fail Hubert's class? They do. Okay? Anybody got a question on that? All right, so let's look at, I've shown you the homework. Now let's look at the test. And we're going to go over this test again as soon as we get to the end of the unit. Okay, so let me get rid of this. And we get to, now I haven't put the most current questions on the test, like the last day of class and stuff like that. I haven't done that, so it's last semester. So you're just going to have to chill out when you see them. Quizzes and tests. You click on it, and it's not showing up. Why isn't it showing up? Okay, let me go back and figure out why it's not showing up. It's the Russians. Damn Russians. They end everything. I'll make sure I'm in the right class. 120, 8 o'clock. Yep, I'm in the right class. Course tools. Assignment manager. 110, 9:30. Is it 9:30? Should be showing up. 110, 19. 110, 19. Okay, let me go back. Quizzes and tests. Okay, that did not come up a while ago, did it?
No.
I told you it's the Russians. Now look at this. I want to show everybody again what is on each test. What's that called right there? The due date, the test, how many minutes you have to take the test. That's it. I give you 90 minutes, usually 90 minutes. That's the third thing I forgot. Why do I give you 90 minutes? Because some of y'all will use that as an excuse. Okay? So 90 minutes, you got 1 out of 3 attempts. Oh, I've already taken it, evidently. All right, you got 3 attempts, and then when you finish, you have your score there. So therefore, you don't have to ask me any of those things. All right? Now, why am I so against you asking me questions? I'm not against you asking me questions. I'm against you asking me the same question every other week. That's what I'm against. Okay? That's not going to happen with the material because the material changes. This doesn't change. So I don't want you asking me the same question every week. When's the test due? When's the test due? How much time we got on the test? Do I take all grades and add them up, or do I take the highest grade? That's all the same. It's generic. It's the same. So that's what I don't like repeating over and over and over, so I don't. So click on it. It even tells you again, for those people that can't read, it tells you again, you got 26 questions. They're about 4 points apiece. Got the due date, number of attempts. You have 44 minutes left. Start test. Now the reason it says start test is some of y'all try to take a test during a thunderstorm and a lightning storm. That's not a good idea. Okay? You ever seen the lights flicker off and on? Well, that means your computer is going to flicker on and on unless you got a battery, and that's good. Okay? But the whole point is I wouldn't try to do a test, especially if some of y'all wait till the last minute, because Murphy's Law, if something can go wrong, it will. For you procrastinators that wait till 11 o'clock to take 3 tests, it ain't going to happen. Something's going to happen. Start test. Oh my gosh, look at there. It starts off with a bonus question. Boom. I want you to count how many bonus questions I give you on these tests. Okay? There's 1. There's a math question. I'm just going to skip it. Okay? Why does Hubert not entertain extra credit, extra points, dropping any grades during the final weeks of the semester? I want you to read that now. I don't want you to just read it and say, oh. Don't come up to me the last 2 weeks and say, I've got a 90 or 89.2. Can I do some extra credit? I have no idea. That's what I'm going to tell you. Why? Why? Because my head hurts. Because he is mean. Because he wants me to fail and live in a ditch. I like D, and you can use D, but that's not the correct answer. The correct answer is what? B. You'll see a pattern with these questions in just a minute. Okay? So that's number 2. That's the second bonus question. If you miss a question on a test and you believe it is correct, what should you do? Scream and throw a temper tantrum. Ask Hubert if you can meet with him after class. Send several emails to Hubert with the last one saying, hello. That usually really works well. Usually I delete them. Call Hubert's office 5 or 6 times. I think it's B. Y'all seeing a pattern with the questions, with the answers? It's not supposed to bunch them up like this. There's half and half. If you have incomplete assignments and Hubert puts a 0 in for the grade, what will that 0 do to your grade? Hubert sucks. Tapioca. Decrease it. Make it better. Now this does not come from me. This comes from a student that didn't realize a 0 decreases their grade at the end of the semester. I didn't know that did that. Yeah. And the check's in the mail. Although covered in the handouts in the first day of class, what is the best way to communicate with Hubert? Email him over and over so I can use it as an excuse because I suck as a student. Carrier pigeon. His cell phone. Y'all starting to see a pattern? Does Hubert replace your lowest grade with your final exam grade? There is a story behind this one. Okay? Donald Duck, water, Tuesday, no way, no how. Now, some of y'all that are language majors, what is that no way, no how? What is that compared to the other 3? It's negative, right? Does everybody agree that no way, no how is negative? Okay, so that's the answer. I had a student, okay, deadhead university student, okay? He used to come in here, sat right over there in that corner, never brought a pencil, never brought a piece of paper, walked in like Dopehead City, okay? And then at the end of the semester, he makes like a 42 in my class. Okay, everybody with me? He missed the last test, which is impossible because I give you a week to take. My 103 students can verify. It's impossible to miss a test in my class, isn't it? Because I give you a week after the semester, at the end of the semester, to make up anything you want. And he still had a 0 on the last test. He had like 40s and 30s and blah, blah, blah. He comes up to me or email or calls me at the end of the semester and says, I didn't know I missed the third test. I didn't know. I thought you were going to replace the final with the lowest. Some bull crap. There it is right there. He took 3 tests in my class. He didn't take the 4th one, and he took the final. And then he comes around saying that he didn't know. He thought that I would take the final and replace his lowest grade. He had this question 3 times. And he says, oh, I thought that meant you did. Does anybody see an affirmative or a positive answer there, or is it negative? It's negative. So, yeah, drugs are good. Makes you a dumbass. All right. I ain't got no use for drugs. I ain't got no use for them at all. Determine that's a math question, blah, blah, blah. If a student does not complete a homework assignment or test, what grade will be recorded for that assignment? This is for the student that didn't know zeros decrease their grade. Okay? 0, zilch, nada. When is the last day of class for this semester? Now this question is neat. This question got me, I'm offended. Okay? All right. Yours is going to be Tuesday, April what? 23rd. Good. I'm going to change that before the first test. I'm going to change that. Okay? But I got a I'm offended freak right after this test. I'm offended you used September the 11th, 2001, because I got a grandma's brother, sister's aunt's cousin's son that married my first cousin's sister, died in 9/11. Well, one reason I put that on there is because I don't want people to ever forget 9/11. All right? And then I said to her, I said, well, are you offended about December 7th, 1941? And she goes, what's that? She didn't know what December 7th, 1941 is. Now, if you don't know what December 7th, 1941 is, don't raise your hand. Or don't say, what's that? Consider the source. She was offended about September 11th, but didn't know what December 7th, because that's on another question. Anyway, like I said, I ain't got use for those people. If you take several forms of a test in Hubert's class, how is it counted? I will take C as an answer, but it's B. All right? He calls you a loser and fails you. I like that one. There's a math question. In Hubert's class, this is the #1 most missed question in the test on the bonus questions. There's only one answer. What's the only answer that's capable of being the answer?
A.
Why?
Because
it equals to 100. 30, 30, 30 doesn't equal to 100. People put 30, 30, 30. These people procreate. Find the population variance, blah, blah, blah. That's math. When does the homework terminate? Well, that's the only possible answer.
Do we still get 3 tries per question like the homework ones? Or is it
each time the computer regenerates another test for you. So when you take the second one, it's not going to look anything like it. The bonus questions are still there.
No, I'm saying on the homework we get 3 tries per question.
No, you don't get. You get 3 tries on the test, but you don't get 3 tries per question. No,
Okay,
on the homework you do.
Okay.
Okay. If you look at your overall grade one day at the end of the semester and it has decreased from several days ago, what has happened? I will take C because it's always a conspiracy. You know, when you make a bad grade, it's always somebody's what? Fault. It's never your fault. It's always somebody. I've had to go through 2 children. Well, I'm still going through the second one. And I'm still having to deal with the first one, trying to blame her professors, okay? If you make a bad grade on a test, 90% of the time it's because of what? You. It's not because the teacher did this or the teacher did that or blah, blah, blah. What is Hubert's email address? Number 2, most missed bonus question. I had one student, I had 5 people in the 30 class, 30 people, 5 people missed this question. Which one is it? Why is it C? It's the only one that's real. Now, a lot of you say, why do you do this? Why do you put the bonus questions on the test? I do it for 3 reasons. 1, to see if you read, which some of you don't. 2, because I was told to do this a long time ago because people wasn't reading the handouts and blah, blah, blah. So it came down from the Vice President of Instructional Affairs to incorporate the syllabus and the handouts into assignments. So I just said, well, I'm not going to do it on everything, so I'll just do it on tests. So I did it on the test. And the 3rd reason is that I don't like the repetitive questions. So if you read these questions, most of them don't come from the syllabus and handouts. I'd say probably 75% of these questions come from DA questions at the end of the semester. That's where they come from. So, and in fact, I need to add a couple more, but I'm not. Math question. When is the week of finals? There's December 7th, 1941. I have no idea what that is. You know, whatever. This will say, what, April 24th through the 30th? That's what it'll say. So B is the answer there. Another math question. In your grade book, to find your final grade after you have completed all your assignments, which should you choose? The only one possible answer. Math question. What should a student do if something happens and they are out of class for a while? There's a story behind this one too. Funeral, high school event, or a wreck? Wait until after grade turn in and turn on dumbass disorder. Oh, I didn't know to do that. Blame it on the Russians or communicate with Hubert. Communicate. Student. This is a dual enrollment class. This was a dual enrollment student. She goes on a vacation. Okay? She goes on a cruise. She has to say cruise. She can't say vacation. So she goes on a vacation, a cruise, whatever. She comes back. She doesn't take the 3rd test. The 3rd test was either, it wasn't during her vacation. It either started before her vacation or it was still going after her vacation. I can't remember which one it was. She didn't take it. Okay, so she got a 0. The week that she can fix things, she didn't fix it. Okay, so she got a C instead of an A in her class. And she didn't call me after, grade turning in. I mean, she called me like a week or 2 after grade turning in. And said, I got a C. I said, yeah, that's what you got. You missed a test. Oh, well, I didn't know. I didn't know what. I didn't know what to do. Whatever. Y'all think we believe this stuff? Really? Communication. Always communicate. And this is true not only with me, but with the other teachers. If you're going to be out, you need to tell somebody. All of you have parents, right? All of us have parents, whether 1 or 2 or 5, okay? We have parents. What do they do if you're going to be out from work for 2 or 3 weeks? What do they do? And you can't call. They call your work, don't they? They should, or you're going to get fired. All right? I asked the girl, I said, where do you work? And she said, blah, blah, blah. I said, what would happen? Did you call in there and tell them you were going to be gone? Yeah. But you don't call, you don't tell your teacher or whatever, and you wait until after the grade turn in 2 weeks. Yeah, these are real Real stories. Okay, 26. How many bonus questions do you have? You have about 12 or 13, I think. So take 12, let's just say 12, and multiply by 4. What's that? 48. Let's say 50. Everybody should make a 50 on my test. Let's see what I made. I didn't answer a single math question. I made a 58. Do I still have people make below a 50 in my class? If you ever meet somebody that says they failed my class with less than a 50, move away from them slowly. Because something is going to rub off on you. Either lazy, deadhead disorder, or stupid. Okay, one of those three. Because there is no way to fail my class with less than a 50. No way. But 50 is still what? It's an F. Okay, I guess you can call me, what do you call me, big-hearted or whatever. I don't feel like kicking the person when they're down. If you're going to make an F, you're going to make an F. You're going to make a 50. I don't believe in giving you like a 23, but some of you do make a 23 no matter what. I don't put down the numbers. I just put down the grade. Okay, there's a lot of people that make 23s in my class, 38s. I have had a couple of 2s. Just because of one thing, laziness. Okay? Any questions on tests and homework now? Who's got a question? Yes, sir.
You keep referencing this to make up things. What is that?
Usually it's the end of the, I don't announce it. I announce it at the beginning of the semester, but at the end of the semester, I'll open up the dates. Everything will be open. And a couple of y'all will email me and say, I'm confused. Okay, let me ask you a question. If I accidentally give y'all an extra 10 points on a test, let's say there's a question on the back of the test and it's worth 10 points and I didn't grade it because I forgot it was on the back of the test. Are y'all going to raise your hand and say, oh, you didn't grade this last one on anybody's, you gave us an extra 10 points? Are you going to say that? No. If I open up everything on the homework and the test, are you going to call me and say, I'm confused? Or are you going to take advantage of it? Take advantage of it. All right. So always keep your eye on it. But it usually happens either the last couple of weeks or the last week or something like that. Usually at the end of the semester, you're going to have the final exam to worry about and the last test, which is that Unit 1, Unit 4. Which if we even get to, we hardly ever get to, but I'm going to try to get to it. The last day of class is 23rd. From the 24th to the 30th, you're going to have to do 2 tests. That's the final exam and the last test, which is Unit 4. I'll give you 7 days. And the week before that, or the week before that, I try to do it the last week so that way you can work on everything. But most of the time, you don't have to do that because most of the time y'all stay pretty. There's 20-ish people in here, probably 5 of y'all are slackers. And that's I'm being very conservative or being very liberal because usually a dual enrollment class, most all of y'all are winners, okay? Mostly all of you are, not deadheads. Mostly. Every once in a while I have like that one over there. I don't know what the hell he was doing. I mean, he shouldn't even been here. But who knows? Maybe mom and daddy, beat him upside the head, told him to come to class. Who knows? But if you're going to walk into a classroom late every day, you need to at least walk in with materials because the teacher's already going to be pissed, okay? But when you walk in late every day and you walk in with nothing, that's even going to piss the teacher off. I mean, it didn't piss me off. I didn't get mad or anything. I just looked at him like an idiot. But you don't do things like that unless you're a deadhead. Any questions besides that one? So, did you go in to rate my professor? Yes or no? Did we go in to rate my professor?
Yes.
Okay. Did you find any information on your teachers?
Yes.
Did anybody drop? I hope you did. If you got below a 2, you need to drop. Please drop and get another class. Anybody get any 2s or below?
I had one last semester.
Who'd you have last semester to below a 2?
Blue.
Oh yeah, you told me that. Yeah, we looked at that one.
But I had to go through the whole semester with her and then found out.
Yeah, that's right. You found out afterwards, yeah.
And taking the class.
Any others find a 2 that they're taking and, okay, all of you got pretty good ones? Good. Rate My Professor is pretty good. That's why teachers don't like to tell you about it. That's why you have teachers with like 2 ratings. They don't tell people. All right. So you got no questions on homework. You've got no questions on My Labs Plus except for you. And I got a couple of people that need to add. Okay? Yes, sir.
One last question. Since I took this last semester, will
You're going to have to check it and see. What?
the homework be done already? 'Cause I'm already-
No. Not hardly. No. That's not going to happen. No, it's another class.
Okay.
Everything resets. All right, I'm going to call the roll, and then y'all can tell me if y'all are here or not. If you got any questions, hang around. Let me cut off the recorder. What time is it? Oh, I'm letting y'all out early today. Am I letting y'all out early? We got to do math. I'm just kidding. Okay, stop.